Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Happy New Year 2018. It's my first video of the year. I don't know if I remember how to do this. I took last week off, for the week between Christmas and New Year's, and boy am I feeling rusty and a little bit behind. Let me start by showing you what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make this card right here, and it's actually thank you cards for my December customers, and it was inspired by this card right here, which is one of the featured samples in the new 2018 Occasions catalog. Occasions catalog has gone live and we are in celebration right now, so with any $50 purchase you can earn free items. Let me show you. This is the True Gentleman suite. And I did all of these projects with a group of Stampin' Up demonstrators. I made 6 of these, and then the other demonstrators in the group made 6 other suite samples. So I'll have these actual physical samples to show to my local customers here in my Chicago area home studio. So I made this card a couple of weeks ago. Here it is. And then decided to case that card for my thank you notes for December. Here's the card. And this card features Epic Celebrations, which is a brand new stamp set from Stampin' Up that you can get right now, January 2018, for free with any $50 purchase. So we're going to use this Your Awesome greeting. I am so excited about the stamp set and can't wait to show you some fun project ideas with this. All right, so that's my celebration stamp set. Let's go through the other products while I'm here. We're going to use the Pieces and Patterns stamp set. We're going to use this bloom, and we're going to use this Pick Up Pattern Designer Series paper. I am down to just scraps in the first pack, so this is the second one that I bought. And let me show you some of these patterns. I just love these cameras. They span all eras. You got a point and shoot and Polaroid, the little Polaroid pictures, film strips. I love that. We're going to be using this stripe. There's a Flirty Flamingo floral, and on the back of that is kind of a basic black and whisper white. What would you call that, like a lattice? This one is just funky. It's crushed curry mushrooms. We're going to use the other side for this Emerald Envy hash, crosshatch pattern, and fun little art supplies. I love this pattern, this black and white. Use this all the time. I used up this first in the first pack I got. I love these little dinosaurs. The back of that almost looks like scales. It's crushed curry. We're going to use this one today. I used the brand new punch to kind of highlight some of the little critters from these and made a bunch of different cards. You can see I got the little mouse and tree and the stump, and this one. I punched this one for the card that we're doing here today. Okay, couple more supplies. I'm using this brand new, right here, here it is. Can you see that? That is called the Tailored Tag Punch. In love with that tailored tag. And if you were to get the tailored tag and the truly tailored stamp set together, you can bundle them and save 10%. The clear mount bundle is $34. Let's see here, there's my punch. I'm using markers from the 16, 18 in colors. These will be retiring this year. I've got Flirty Flamingo and Emerald Envy. And we're also using a crushed curry marker. These are the Stampin' Rights. And my consumables for this project, move these aside and I'll let you see what I got here. I've got a 8.5 by 5.5 piece of Flirty Flamingo. And my Emerald Envy is 3 by 2. I've got a piece of Whisper White that's 1 by 3.5. Then a scrap of Whisper White for stamping the flower. And I've already punched ahead a couple of these little tailored label punches. I've got one of the Emerald Envy, one of the crushed curry, one of the Flirty Flamingo, and then my little critter. Let's get one more of each of those pattern labels, and you just need scraps from that Pieces and Patterns Designer Series paper. So we'll have 2 of each, the flamingo and the Emerald Envy crosshatch, and this crushed curry stripe. All right, our punching's done, and when we've got a relatively clear space here, I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored tool. Let's get our card base scored. I've got this on the 8.5 inch side, and we're just going to score it 4 1/4. I love this tool. And I'm going to take a bone folder, and I like to bring the ends of my card together against my thumb, inside out, and then score. Now any distress or cracking, any fuzziness is going to be on the inside of the card. I flip it back the other way and bring the front and back panels of the card together again against my thumb here, so that everything is nice and square as I run the bone folder over. Okay, so there's our card base. Very simple here. We're going to kind of follow this pattern and adhere our labels to the card. I like to start with the little critter, kind of our centerpiece, if you will, of the patches, and I like to use the multi-purpose liquid glue for this. So the first thing you want to do is put a little multi-purpose liquid glue on the top half of the label and glue it down so that it hangs off the edge of the card. So where the straight sides stop, that's where you're going to adhere, about 1/4 inch from the edge of the card here. All right, now everything builds off of that little piece. So we'll take our Flirty Flamingo piece, and we're going to put glue on half of the label because that one hangs off the side, and just about 1/16 inch in between. You just want to keep an even space between the 2 labels. Glue down. Then the crosshatch. I like the liquid for this because it is kind of a large spot, so you can do a scribble, a little bit'll do ya, and then when you burnish it on, you can kind of move that adhesive around to really grab the back. Now, same thing with the crushed curry stripe. You want glue on half of the label, and then I like to burnish out towards the end. Next up, we're going to go to crushed curry again. This one we'll put a scribble of adhesive across the whole back of the label and glue it down, keeping that even border between each of the shapes. Then half of the little crosshatch label, and burnish the adhesive towards the end of the card there. You want to glue it all the way to the edge. And last, our Flirty Flamingo. It's a pretty quick process, and because all the label shapes are punches, it's pretty quick to make up all these shapes too. All right, so we've got that. Let's give it a second to dry, and I'm going to do a little bit of stamping here. The first thing we're going to do is take the You're Awesome greeting from Epic Celebrations. I've got my Flirty Flamingo marker, and I'm going to ink up Awesome, and I'm really going to ink it well. Once I've put an entire full coat on, I'm going to go over it again, and then I'm going to go over it again. You just really want to ink that up well. You don't want to lose the details. Then I'll flip and bring the Emerald Envy and ink up the word Your. Now here you're going to be a little bit more delicate because it's such a fine line. Got both of our colors on. You're going to bring it up to your mouth and just huff on it. Make sure all that Flirty Flamingo ink is damp. There you go. You're awesome. Now, Emerald Envy. Put it on a piece of scrap paper. For this project, I have my Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad and Emerald Envy. We're going to line up You're Awesome, exactly where we're gonna glue it down. Just dry fit it there, no adhesive yet. And we're gonna take these little 4 flower image. This one is also from Pieces and Patterns, and I am in love with this. I thought it was gonna be fussy to line up, and it isn't. It is absolutely a dream to use. And see this great little flower border you get when you stamp it up? So we're doing Emerald Envy and Emerald Envy, and we're gonna stamp so that the flowers roll off the edge, nice and organic, naturally, and we'll lift. Then I like to stamp the top in the same position so that the right side is off the edge and lift. Then we can get your Awesome out of there now that we know how far from the edges our line of flowers should be, and we won't accidentally drop the stamp on your Awesome. Now to line it up, what I'm doing is using the top edge of the rubber here and this curved edge of the rubber here. And when I line up the stamp, I make sure that this edge is equidistant from the top of the paper each time I stamp. And I just cover the petals, not the center, of the previous flower with this little curved edge here, and it lines up like a dream. Okay, so we're gonna line it up and stamp. See how perfect it is? Spacing's perfect, everything. It just looks great, and it's really so easy. I'm a little shaky from all the caffeine I've had today, but I still managed to make a pretty cute border there. Super cute. I love this stamp. I plan on using it a whole lot more. I didn't realize how much value that little bit had. Okay, so we've got our multi-purpose liquid glue. Go ahead and just scribble a bit in the center of your Awesome and glue it between our little flower rows with equal overhang on the right and the left. Let's get our card back in here for a minute. And Memento ink. Here's that scrap of Whisper White and the flower from Pieces and Patterns. Now I'm going to color this little baby up with Flirty Flamingo in the center. I like to just kind of scribble in and then go over it and get it a little brighter. A little crushed curry around the bullseye here. And I found that crushed curry is a nicer color if you don't overlap yourself. Kind of try to get just one clean layer of the crushed curry so that it stays that nice vibrant yellow and doesn't get kind of a green-brown. Now I'm gonna fussy cut this little flower and then I'll cut back in, but I'm just taking the scissor, closing the scissor as I cut and moving the paper. Notice how I do not move the scissor around the flower. I move the flower into the scissor and I'm leaving the tiniest little border of white. There's our little flower. Well, we've got our paper snips. Let's turn the card over and cut off the excess of these labels. Now that our glue is dry, we won't slide them out of position. And that's why we just set it aside for a minute at the beginning. Cute, isn't it? Okay, so there's my little bunny critter. There's my little mouse critter. I just love this paper pack. All right, some quick embellishment here. I am going to grab a little mini attacher stapler and staple twice. Then I'm going to grab a dimensional, maybe a mini dimensional. It's a little flower. Got a mini dimensional right here. A little mini dimensional in the center of that. And embellish. There's our flower. And then the last step here is to adhere this panel. I'm going all around those little staples and scribble the back. This greeting panel we want to line up with the left edge here, and we want to make sure that we have an equal border across the top there. Make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, there they are, and here is the truly tailored sample. Get that guy in there. All right, if you've got any questions about this project, about Stampin' Up or Celebration, email me, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching.